In the last lecture, we had discussion on periodic discrete time signals, and now in this lecture, we will solve 3 problems based on the concepts we developed in the previous lecture. So let's begin with the first problem. In the first problem, we are having a discrete time signal xn and it is equal to e power j2n. This means we are having a discrete complex exponential signal and we are required to calculate the period n of this discrete complex exponential signal. And we know that the discrete complex exponential signal may or may not be periodic. There is a condition 2 pi when divided by omega naught must be equal to some rational number. So when we divide 2 pi by omega naught and we get a rational number, then the given signal is a periodic signal and we will move on calculating the period n. But if 2 pi divided by omega naught gives an irrational number, then the given signal is non-periodic and we will not calculate n because n will not exist. So when you compare e power j to n with a naught e power j omega naught n, you will find omega naught is equal to 2. So we are getting omega naught equal to 2, and this implies 2 pi divided by omega naught is equal to 2 pi divided by 2, and we will finally have pi, and pi is an irrational number. This is an irrational number, and therefore the given signal xn, which is equal to e power j2n, is non-periodic. So this is the answer. The given signal is non-periodic and therefore the period will not exist. Now we will move on to the second problem. In the second problem, the discrete time signal xn is equal to cos 3 pi by 4 n. So here in this case we are having a sinusoidal discrete time signal, and like discrete complex exponential signal, discrete sinusoidal signal may or may not be periodic. Again, this condition must be satisfied. So omega naught in this case is equal to 3 pi divided by 4, 3 pi divided by 4, and now we will check whether 2 pi divided by omega naught is giving us a rational number or not. So let's divide 2 pi by omega naught, which is 2 pi divided by 3 pi divided by 4, 3 pi divided by 4, and this is equal to 8 divided by 3. 8 divided by 3 is rational and therefore this signal is periodic. This signal is periodic and therefore we will calculate the period n, and we know 2 pi divided by omega naught is equal to n divided by k. This implies period n is equal to 2 pi divided by omega naught multiplied to k. 2 pi divided by omega naught is equal to 8 by 3. So n is equal to 8 by 3 multiplied to k, and we know the fact that n is an integer, and to get an integer value k must be equal to 3. I'm taking the minimum value of k, it should be 3, and therefore we will get the period which now is a fundamental period equal to 8. So this is our answer. You can also consider k equal to 6. When you consider k equal to 6, you will have n equal to 8 by 3 multiplied by 6, which in turns give you n equal to 16. But 16 is not a fundamental time period. It is simply the period. It is equal to 2 times the fundamental time period 8. And we usually represent the fundamental time period by n subscript 0. So we can say that this period n is equal to 2 times the fundamental period n naught. Similarly, you can consider the other values of k as well. For example, when you consider k equal to 9, then you will have the period equal to 3 times the fundamental period n naught. But in question, you are required to calculate the fundamental period, which is 8. Now we will move on to the third and the last problem, and here we have a composite discrete time signal. Xn is a composite discrete time signal. It is equal to this signal plus this signal, and let's say this signal is x1n and this signal here is x2n. And if you see signal x1n, you will find 3 pi by 4 is equal to omega naught, and we have already calculated the fundamental period when omega naught is equal to 3 pi by 4, and therefore for this signal we will get the fundamental period, let's call it n1, equal to 8. Now we will focus on this signal x2n, and here in this case we are having omega naught equal to 5 pi by 7. So omega naught we are getting as 5 pi by 7, and first we will check whether this sinusoidal signal, which is a discrete sinusoidal signal, is periodic or not. And for that we will check whether 2 pi divided by omega naught is giving us rational value or irrational value. 2 pi divided by omega naught, which means 2 pi divided by 5 pi divided by 7, will give you 14 divided by 5, which is definitely a rational number. This implies the signal we are having here is a periodic signal. This signal we are having, which is x2n, is a periodic signal, and therefore we will calculate the period n. N is equal to 2 pi divided by omega naught multiplied to k. 2 pi divided by omega naught is equal to 14 divided by 5 multiplied to k. For fundamental time period, let's call n2, k must be equal to 5. In that scenario, we will get the integer value of n2, and only integer values are valid for the period. Therefore, 14 is the fundamental time period of this signal. So we have obtained the fundamental time period of this signal equal to 8, and fundamental period of this signal equal to 14. And our aim is to calculate the fundamental period of signal xn, which is the composite signal. And in the previous lecture, I told you to calculate n, simply calculate LCM of n1 and n2. This means LCM of 8 and 14, and when you solve it, you will get 56. So the fundamental time period of this composite signal is equal to 56, and this is the answer.